Hello, everyone. And as you can see, I'm still on my own. No, I'm not. He's back. Welcome back, Dave.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Actually got a day off work.
I did, yeah. I've been really, really busy. Apologies I've not been around. I've been so busy in work, but I am back.
And it's a special day today, isn't it?
It is.
Who's a birthday boy?
I'm 1 year older. I'm 26 today.
I'm not going to sing happy birthday again. You've heard it too many times today.
My ears can't cope.
Anyway, let's get on with this because it's great to have you back to do a video. And this is going to be our final video on Marella Voyager. Because of course we've got, in a few weeks' time, we go on Explorer.
I was going to say it's not a bad thing as our last video because we've got a whole new cruise ship coming.
Which is going to be fabulous because we've not been on the Explorer before, so it'll be great to compare how it is to the Voyager. But let's talk about the Voyager. So in this video, we're going to look at what we loved and what we weren't so keen on. So let's get started with the ship itself. Marella added Voyager to their fleet in 2023, and I love the fact that, one, they're expanding. Two, it's going to mean that there are so many more itineraries going to be added. And three, I love the fact that they're continuing along the line of the smaller ships, as I think the Voyager, like their other ships, holds about 2,000.
It does, and people shouldn't be under any illusion that it is the same ship as the Explorer. However, it has been designed a lot differently. So there are areas, there's differences to the Voyager that you won't find on the Explorer or the Explorer 2.
I think as far as not liking about the ship, there's not a lot not to like, is there? I think some of the disappointment for me was you can see where the money's been spent on the ship, and we'll come to that later. But there are some areas where the money hasn't seemed to be spent, and one of those was the cabins.
Definitely. Let's just quickly revisit, though, how upset we were when we first went on to start with, because Discovery 2, for us, was our first run with Marella, and we loved it. And we were judging it on Discovery 2. And if anyone goes on the ship Voyager, please don't do that because, trust me, it has so many more pros than the Discovery. Discovery 2, should I say. So wait until you see what we've got to say about it. So cabins. Now, we stayed, again, like we did on Discovery 2, in an ocean view cabin. Now, before we go on to our cabin, let me just quickly stress that we did look around all of the cabins on board. And can I just quickly say how much I really enjoyed the inside stateroom. I thought it was really spacey, really neat. It had everything you wanted, and it felt like a cozy little cave.
Yeah, and so much so did we think that it was good that we're going to try one on our next cruise. And I'm quite horrified, or I was, at going inside and not having any natural light. But I really think it's going to be okay.
I think it's going to be okay. And if you know me, because I'm a picky sod, the reason why we tend to stay in an ocean view room or an inside stateroom is because of the bed configuration. Well, I've just realised with the Voyager, actually, that they've got balcony rooms, suites as such, with the bed the other way around. So my problem is I don't like lying side on, rocking side and side. I like to lie so I'm rocking like this because it eases me. And you can actually have a suite upstairs with the bed facing the balcony windows and not side on, so you are rocking like this.
I think one of the things we should say is that the cabins itself, I actually was really, really disappointed that they didn't seem to have spent so much on the cabins as elsewhere.
Okay, then, so let's back it up and speak about the ocean view stateroom that we stayed in. Now, on first impression, it looked exactly the same as any other ship. Now, this was their newest ship in the fleet, so I expected it to be a lot more updated, but it seemed to me like they hadn't bothered at all in that room with updating anything at all. We'll start with the bathroom, because the bathroom, even though it was a glass door, which everyone raves about and loves, there was other things missing. It was chipped, it was scuffed, the toilet seemed dirty. The one thing I did love about that room, though, however, was the shower gel. I could have nicked it because it was lush. Whatever you use in Marella, it was really, really nice. I can't really say much about the bathroom. It is what it is. The one bad thing about it, though, is that high step. I know they've got to put the plumbing somewhere, but that nipped my toe quite a lot. And for anyone with mobility issues, that could have caused quite a serious problem.
Yeah, and of course, so I've got to say, I did love the fact that they've now got the glass door to the shower. On Discovery 2, when we were on, it was a shower curtain, and they're not nice, are they?
But I don't think they've updated it because if I remember on the Discovery 2, it's a corner shower. So it's going to be quite difficult to fit a glass screen.
So moving from the bathroom into the main room, we did love the space. It was very spacious, but the biggest dislike, and I think something really could cause people problems, is the lack of sockets. We had one plug, which was a European socket, and apart from that, there was another one next to it, but it had got something attached that couldn't be pulled out that gave you two USB ports.
It was definitely difficult.
Yeah, so the kettle was across the other side of the room, and every time you wanted to boil the kettle for a drink, you had to carry it to the other side of the room to boil it.
And can I quickly add as well, talking of sockets, on Discovery 2, not that I'm judging it, there was USBs in every lamp. However, there wasn't one USB in any of the lamps on board the Voyager. That sort of spells out how old the furniture is in there. And secondly, to that, the size of the room on Discovery 2, it was a lot bigger because they had a sofa in the room. Now, I really missed that sofa for hanging my clothes on. But the benefit of that meant that you had more storage space across.
Yeah, the storage
the
was very good. So we loved that, didn't we?
Definitely. And sorry, may I just quickly jump in, Mike? Sorry to interrupt you. One thing that they had, and I wasn't expecting them to have on the Voyager, was the fridges. The fridges are back, so we were able to have cold water in our room. Okay, so anybody going on a cruise knows that the one thing about a cruise ship that everybody loves the most is the food. Because the food is the one thing, if you're on any sort of cruise line, it tends to be the thing that is free. Forgetting about drinks aside, the food is always free. And the food has to sort of reach the mark. Now, for me, I'll let Mike talk about it now, but for me, Marella was absolutely fantastic. On the Voyager, the food was superb. I'm going to let Mike talk about it now because I know he loves his food.
I most certainly do. Yeah, certainly I've got to say that comparing Discovery 2 and Voyager, the food on the Voyager was so much better. So should we start with specialty restaurants? Because these you do take the charge for, which we don't love, but they are worth it.
It's not a lot, though.
No, I think for what you get, it's good value. So we found the specialty restaurants. We did Surf and Turf, Corallar, and what was the other one?
The fine dining. It was the pub fine dining thing.
Silver Fork.
That's the one.
That's the one. We loved all three of those, didn't we? We thought the food in them was superb.
Can I just quickly say as well, Corallar this time round was superb. Loved it. Probably one of my favourite meals.
It's very hard to pick. I actually loved Silver Fork best, and that would be my favourite meal.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Silver Fork as well. And I actually found it really opulent there, really expensive looking. It goes to show that Marella have really spent the money on this restaurant to make it feel really luxe. However, I did have a massive problem with Corallar and Surf and Turf. And the reason was I almost found that the placement of Corallar especially just felt like you were in a corridor.
Yeah, it felt like you were just it was an afterthought and you were shoved in the corridor. But I think that was because the door was blocked to carry on going, wasn't it? So they tried to turn the corridor into a room.
And can I say one thing, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but on Discovery 2, when we were in Surf and Turf, the kitchen wasn't open. Whereas on this one, it was open. Yeah. And I felt really hot because we were sat quite close to the counter there. And that's one bad thing about Surf and Turf there. I found that it was hot, a little uncomfortable with the placement that we had. But there were other tables.
But some people like to watch their food being prepared. Yeah. So
very harvester.
Benefit, yeah. I mean, Silver Fork, I would definitely say that my disappointment in there was no music, entertainment while you were dining. There was a piano in there, but it only seemed like they used that for the musical afternoon tea. But overall, the food in all three of the restaurants that we tried was absolutely superb, and you couldn't fault the food or the service.
No. Okay, so now let's visit the non-specialty restaurants. Now, I was really dubious about this because our first impression of Discovery 2 when we went on there, you'll see me in one of the old videos pulling a face with the apple pie that I'd had. I was really concerned because we were traveling this time with friends and we had bigged up Marella and cruises to them and it was their first one. And I was really scared that they'd come on board and hate the food. But you know what? Yeah. They loved it as much as we loved it. Voyager had it just right this time. The food in any non-specialty restaurant that we went to, whether it be the kitchens or the main dining room or Vista, was just superb.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, I don't think we had a bad meal, did we? We couldn't have complained about any of the food we were served. And I think so the food, absolutely, we love the food. Let's talk about the restaurants in itself, and obviously the big one, where money again has been spent in the refurb, is the kitchens, which is a new concept for Marella.
It is a new concept, and I'm going to start off by saying I actually quite liked it. I know Mike has his reservations. The reason why I quite liked it was because I'm a picky eater. I like to have weird concoctions of food in one go, whereas Michael likes his traditional food. So for me, it worked. The only thing I didn't like about it was the fact that every time I went to a different station, I had to have a different plate. So I ended up with 3 or 4 plates juggling round to get back to my table to put them all together on one plate, which didn't really make sense.
So what I actually loved about the kitchens was, yes, it had been done out really nice, but there was more that I didn't like, and I certainly didn't like how you had to queue and ask for what you wanted, and it was served to you. I had no problems with it. I think there's about 8 different types of food, and I just didn't like the fact that you'd have to go to one and queue and get something. There was often a language problem, and they didn't give you the right amount, or they couldn't understand what you were really asking for. And then of course you queued and got your food at that one, and then you had to go to another bay. And I just didn't like the concept. I would much sooner it be a buffet where you could help yourself.
But can I just say one thing?
You're going to say ice cream.
I'm going to say ice cream. Because anyone knows that you usually have to pay for ice cream, but on the Voyager, they have an ice cream parlor stand at the kitchens, and it's free. And they don't have like 1 or 2 flavors. They have about 20 flavors.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It's amazing. It's all free, all part of it. I think they do lunchtime and dinner, do they?
Yeah, they were there mainly during lunch and dinner, weren't they? But I really hope that Marella would put that on the other ships. If you remember Discovery 2, it was all they did was on the pool deck is have somebody doing like Mr. Whippy type ice cream.
And I think on Explorer as well, you have to pay as well. But if I'm wrong, write in the comments below and tell us that we're wrong so we can look forward to that.
And I've got to say, one last thing that I didn't love about the kitchens was the stands where the drink machines are. You have about 3 different stands, and often you would go there and they're not maintaining the machines. So you, instead of sort of 2 or 3 machines working, only one would be working. And I just found that then you got long queues waiting for drinks. So they really should. It was basically, I think, the coffee beans running out. And
but can I say one pro on it though, just quickly before we go? On that floor where the kitchens is, at the aft of the ship where the kitchens is, you've got Nonnas and Abuelas, the Mexican and the pizzeria. And on the front of kitchens up there, you've got the snack shack. So if you're at any of these restaurants, you can quickly slide on in to the kitchens and get yourself a drink there. Save yourself from waiting at the bar, because sometimes it can be quite a long wait at the bar for drinks. So that's a good tip.
But overall, we love the food, so no problems there. I think you'll love it too.
Yes. Okay, so flowing on through to the drinks now on board. Now, this was sort of like a problem with us last time we were on Discovery, because we paid for 2 weeks on the premium package and realised quite soon on that we didn't really utilise that premium drinks package, because on the all-inclusive, you get a lot of premium branded lagers and spirits and stuff like that. So there's no real reason to. And what we found with Discovery was they were overloading the drinks with alcohol. And they started to do it on the Voyager. Now, can I just quickly say before you jump in that Mark, our friend that is with us, likes to taste the alcohol, whereas we don't. So what we did, what did we do, Mike?
We used to buy a mocktail, which were on the all-inclusive, and then we would get a separate shot and add ourselves so that we could then mix it, and the taste was so much better.
It was, because you can control how much alcohol you want in it and how it tastes.
Well, I mean, if you remember Discovery, when we went premium, we really wanted it for the cocktails because there was a big extra choice if you had the premium package. But because they were overloading them with alcohol, we just found that they all tasted the same.
They did.
So you didn't get the taste that you were expecting, apart from the mudslide. I did love the mudslide.
But all in all, this time round, I think the drinks were far better.
Yeah, and service was really good as well. So you've heard all about the drinks, so let's talk about the bars, where of course you get the drinks from.
Let's start off with the different sort of bars you've got. So they're not all the same, just go there like a boozer. So you've got the Squid and Anchor if you want a boozer. typical British pub. But you've also then got some places like I forgot the name of the
Should we
one.
talk about the ones we loved?
Well, another one I loved.
Go on then, I know which one I loved as
Yeah, but
well.
I've forgotten the name of it.
The Summer House.
I was going to say the Summer House. It was a Summer House, or it was. Now, I want to say Live Lounge, but it wasn't that because that was a Discovery. It was the Arts House. Those two I loved. And for the reasons why, one of our friends that comes is a massive music buff, Jack. And he adores all types of music. He's really knowledgeable. So it was great for him to go and listen to some live entertainment there. Because to be fair, they were all really good, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Summer House it's great because not only have you got the indoor sort of place, but on the back there's a sort of terrace that's open and you can hear the music from the terrace. So we used to love sitting at the terrace, feeling that breeze.
We did. However, though, we can't really not give any credit to the Squid and Anchor because they did the live karaoke and the bandoki, and also on Top Deck they did the
Squid and Anchor's a great venue.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, the Squid and Anchor is their premier place, and of course there's lots of seating, but one of the things I love is that you can go into the Squid and Anchor during the day and it's really quiet, and if you need a few quiet moments or you want to read, it's a great place to go. And of course, not that we're smokers, but if you are a smoker, go on then, you tell them.
No, you tell them. But he's right. If you're a smoker, on Discovery 2, I found that it was just on the sides and it wasn't nice if you want to walk there. But this is predominantly smokers at the after the ship, and it's nice because you've got a view.
Yeah, you're right at the back of the ship. You access off the Squid and Anchor, and the seating and everything was really nice there. So I thought they catered for smokers really well there.
They did. Oh, and not forgetting as well that they do all their quizzes and things like that there.
Yeah.
And we did a music quiz, and thanks to Jack with his music knowledge, we won first prize. And the prize
you had to get that in, didn't you?
It did. The prize was just an A4 certificate they printed off a machine.
But we won.
We did win.
It's all about the winning.
Bossed everyone.
But yeah, Squid and Anchor's brilliant. Lots going on there, and it's a great place to go in the evenings. Art House we loved.
We did love. One shame that I got, though, is the coffee port. I think it's called a coffee port on there.
Yeah.
That should have given a vibe of like chilled out, listening to some chilled out music and stuff, but they didn't do any entertainment there at all, which I found was a shame, and they've missed out a little bit. So, as you can tell, we loved our time on Voyager with the different bars that we went to, but along with what we just said, there's also a lot of amazing entertainment. Now, there must be at least 5 or 6 different acts that circulate the ship all the time.
Yeah.
We love Dem Boys, obviously. Anyone that's been on a Marella cruise and has heard of Dem Boys, we miss you, we love you, we want you in our lives.
But they were on Discovery too.
They were, and they're not going to be on our next cruise either. But they were a different thing. We did have, however, some smaller bands. So what are they called again? The lads.
Well, we had Journeymen.
Journeymen.
Oh, Brother. We had Lana on the piano.
Yes.
And who else did we have? We had another pianist, but Peter, was it?
We had some Showcast doing some stuff every now and then.
Yeah, Showcast doing stuff. And of course, the bigger band were Fortunes.
Fortunes. Had to be careful with how we said that.
And they were brilliant. I wasn't keen on them to start with, but I actually say they really grew on me, and I really wanted to see them more and more as we went through the cruise. But overall, the bar entertainment, there's somebody in the bars most of the evenings. You can find out who's where, if there's somebody you particularly love in the cruise news. And it's just really nice sitting in the bars, getting entertained.
And quick tip, do not miss the band jam, because all of them together, epic.
We loved it, didn't we? Now, one of the things I absolutely love on cruises apart from you, is every night going to the theatre. I love going to the theatre. And the theatre on Voyager was really nice. It was big, massive. I was surprised. I loved how big the stage was.
Oh, it was massive.
It was amazing.
It was like double the size of Discovery.
Yeah, it was just brilliant. And the shows, I didn't realise that Marella buy these shows in. So it's not their own company, and they don't train them. They buy the shows in. I didn't know that. But we had about a show team of about 12, 14 people with the professional dancers. And I have to say, this show team worked really hard.
But we got to know them. They were that accessible. We got to know them on this cruise, and they were lovely. We danced with them in the nightclub. They were just fantastic people. But I was
you tried to bust a few moves in the nightclub
with Sean.
And
Sean destroyed me. But also we were with friends, as you all know, and I was really concerned that they wouldn't enjoy it, but they loved every single show. apart from Mark, who fell asleep one night in the theatre.
Well, it is hot and it does get tiring.
But no, they were fantastic.
Yeah, and I think overall the show team are really talented. There is a little bit of difference between the singers. Some are better than others, but overall we love the show team.
So yes, make sure you visit the theatre because they are all so fantastic. The costumes are unreal, the choreography is unreal, and they all put so much effort in.
And if you see them around the ship, make sure you say hello to them because, as Dave's already said, they are so friendly and they'll chat away to you. They're brilliant.
They are lovely. But leading on from that, there's also other things to do, not just the theatre and the pubs, just because we're all like that. There are other things to do on board as well. So if you're into films, they have an outdoor theatre and they have an indoor theatre, don't they?
Yeah, we actually love the outdoor theatre, don't we? Not so keen on the indoor one, but it's a good facility.
You say that, but we didn't go and watch a film because we didn't have any time.
Yeah.
I think what he's trying to say is the screen looked too small for the size of what it was. I think if it was a bit bigger, it might be a little bit better. But if you're up for an outdoor cinema night, I think they did on Discovery. I think they did it here as well, where you can have a blanket and popcorn and lay on a sun lounger and watch a film.
I think that's why I love the outdoor, but not so keen on the indoor, because the indoor, we can go to the cinema here and yes, a bigger screen, but indoors we do all the time. But not very often you get the chance to go to an outdoor cinema, and it is lovely on the ship enjoying a film with your popcorn.
They also have an arcade machine. They have an arcades games room with computers, beanbags, you name it, and they have a chill out area upstairs with some
And somebody really loved that room, didn't they?
Didn't realise it was for kids. There was no one in there.
Well, it wasn't. It's not really for kids, I don't think. I think it's geared towards older children.
I think it is.
But I don't think they mind the adults going in and having a little...
It's my era.
Street Fighter and stuff. It's a trip down memory lane.
It's my era.
Yeah, down memory lane. Even I'd play Pac-Man or Street Fighter.
And, let's not forget, but next to these rooms, especially upstairs on the top deck, you have got the casino, but we will not talk about that.
Why won't we talk about it, Dave?
Because I lost some money.
How much did you lose?
I lost. It was only £20, but
how long did it take you to lose it?
About 5 seconds. It was 2 hands. It was gone.
2 hands of blackjack. Was it blackjack?
No, it was poker. No, what was it?
It was blackjack.
It was blackjack. Yeah.
Yeah, 21s.
I was drunk.
And I never even got to have a go because he'd spent the money within 5-10 seconds.
But then, to drown our sorrows, we went up the ramp and around the corner, and we came across the Indigo rooms. I want to say.
Electric rooms.
I'm rubbish with names. I'm sure there's a bar somewhere called Indigo.
My memory's supposed to be poorer than yours.
I know. But anyway, this was a great place. You will probably see some footage now, as Mike's telling you, about when we did the silent disco. Our friends Mark and Jack absolutely loved this place. It was great. Yeah. The drinks were great.
Well, it's strange, isn't it? Because Discovery 2, we never went to the nightclub. But I think because we got friends with us and because we heard how good the silent disco was, and we went a few times and we absolutely loved the nightclub.
Oh, it was so good. This is where I had a dance off with Sean. And it was great. I mean, the more chilled out and relaxed I got, it was great. But especially that silent disco night, if you get a chance, please go to it. I know I'll be going on Explorer too.
So much fun. And then, of course, you've also got things like the basketball courts and table tennis and plenty of games to play as well.
Yes, because you've got the mini golf, which I thought was absolute pants. Discovery 2, all the way. Explorer or Voyager, really, really bad.
They really need to rip that golf course up, the mini golf up, and start again. Because we loved it on Discovery 2, but it was pointless on considering it was they'd refurbed it, and obviously that was new. It was awful. It was impossible to play, wasn't it?
It was impossible to play. So you're probably better off going to the gym, which reminds me, they've got a fully functional gym on board.
Yeah.
Which on Discovery 2, they had one. I keep saying Discovery 2. Sorry, that's the only one we've been on. We're doing others. But on Discovery 2, it was a lot smaller than it is on the Voyager. It was a big gym.
It was quite impressive, and it was lovely the way everything faced out to sea, or a lot of the machines faced out to sea.
Because we used those all the time, so we were constantly looking up to sea.
Yeah. It was nice and cool in there. Plenty of towels, plenty of drinks, water. But and there was a room for classes, wasn't there? Loads of bikes.
You know what my issue is.
I know what the issue is.
Go on.
No shower.
No shower. On Discovery 2, you're allowed to use the spa facilities. So that means you can have a shower after your thing. Now, I know a lot of people are saying just go back to your room and have one. But unfortunately, when you're dripping with sweat and you want to meet up for a coffee after that, you want to have a nice shower straight after the gym.
Well, of course, close to the gym is the spa, the ocean spa. Now, I have to say that again, we had a tour, didn't we? If you go in there, they are more than happy to show you round, and we got to see it all, and some of it was absolutely superb. But there was one thing I didn't like that I really, really loved on Discovery 2. On Discovery 2, you could go and use the steam room, the wet room, have showers, all for nothing. You didn't have to pay a thing. That's not possible on Voyager. You have to pay for a package if you want a thermal package, if you want to use the sunbathing at the back, the special deck. So it was really nicely done.
It wasn't cheap either.
No.
It was quite expensive. But can I just quickly say on the matter of sunbathing at the front? So when you are involved in these packages, and they're quite expensive, you do get the use of this adults-only beautiful sun lounging area. However, a lot of people don't realise the veranda on top deck has the same beautiful, comfortable sun loungers, not like the usual ones you get, and it's free.
And it's kids free.
It is adults only, and there's a bit of shade up there as well.
So we love that. We love the fact that there was an adults only sunbathing area.
But that's where the mini golf should be, just saying. But the veranda isn't far off from the pool deck. So I would quite often go from front or after the ship to the bar that's by the pool deck. Now, the pool deck is actually really, really nice there. You've got two pools, two of different depths. One being about, I think, is about 6 foot deep. And then another one that went in at 6 foot and got about 7 foot deep. Yeah. Unfortunately for our friend Mark, he's only about 5'2", so he was way out of his depth already on that one. But the one thing I didn't like, Mick, was when I went in and the water goes up your nose, it was salt water.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. That was a bit of a shock because I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, if you jump in, it's salt water, so don't take in too much.
But as far as we know, they're all like that because we didn't go on the pool on the other cruise. Yeah. But I did enjoy it. It was nice and cool and refreshing. It was not heated by any means, very cold, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was just nice to cool down. So nice that they've got the two pools. They've got some kids' pools as well. And of course, they've got
hot tubs.
The hot tubs.
But the hot tubs were constantly in use, so we never really got in there. But still, they had them on offer if you get in there.
Yeah, the pool deck is lovely. There's loads and loads of seats. I have heard that Marella are starting to really sort of get stricter with the people keeping the towels on the beds all day.
Oh yes, I'm on a site on Facebook and I've seen what they do. They put we've noticed your towel is sunbathing without you. We'll check it back in 45 minutes to see if it's okay. So they're clamping down. But one good thing about the pool deck is it's got the snack shack there as well. So if you want a quick snack, that's on offer. A dessert, whatever you want. They got the bar there as well.
Snack shack's great for quick snacks if you're staying by the pool all day. And of course, we never had a problem. We love the fact we never had a problem getting a sunbed. We don't tend to go on the pool deck. We tend to go either on the veranda or round the sides, don't we?
But remember as well, all day there's entertainment, bands, quizzes, you name it. It's all happening on the pool deck.
Yeah, it's great fun. Now, of course, a massive factor on any of the ships is the staff that you get. And I have to say that on Voyager, we absolutely loved most of the staff. And I mean, 99% of the staff on there were just absolutely fantastic. From the people that look after your cabins, to the drinks, to the people in the restaurants, people clearing up round the ship. They are absolutely so friendly and always a smile. And
they really and do you know what? That's not just on the Voyager. Every cruise ship we've been on with Marella, they have been. They've worked tirelessly. They are fantastic. They're turned out really well. They always look smart. They're always engaging. Nobody's afraid of a photograph. They're just great people. And can I just quickly say the cabin crew, the ones that come downstairs and do the cabins, wow. Because the amount of speed that they turn those rooms over and it's spotless and everything's in place, it's just amazing.
And they always seem to be there.
And they always do some amazing little like towel art that I've tried.
Great.
Can't do it at all.
Definitely some creatures I haven't seen done before. But yeah, the staff are absolutely superb. The only time we've had a little bit of doubt about the staff reception.
Yeah, the customer service there should be the best, but unfortunately it's not. You get far better results if you talk to a manager as you see them walking around, or even just some of the crew, and they'll point you in the right direction.
What I do love as well, Dave, is that you can go on the app and you can find a section where you can put a comment about the service or your experience. And I would urge people, I think it's brilliant that when staff really, really go out the way, or you love a member of the staff there, that you can go on that app and give them a review, and that will mean so much to them. So I beg you, if you're happy with somebody and they've done you, they work really hard, give them a review. It will mean so much.
Definitely, because I'm pretty sure they might get a bonus or something. I'm not sure for that thing. So reward them for their hard work.
Don't they get a mention or something? I'm
not
not
sure
sure,
what they
but I'm
get.
sure they will, and certainly it will help them come to the notice.
But before we leave this video, can I just quickly comment on the crew at the end? I know on our last theatre show, they do the farewell.
Oh, yes.
And it's lovely. All the crew come out. And even, sorry, we've forgotten to say, if you can stay up that late, sometimes they even do a crew sort of thing where
like
the
staff
crew,
show.
yeah. So like, there's really
staff
talented people
entertain.
on these cruise ships that aren't maybe part of the cast, so they get to come on and perform.
But what I didn't
they do.
love, it wasn't till 12:30 in the
Really,
morning.
yes,
way past my bedtime.
Yes, and for us, we go to bed about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, because we're boring.
Although we did have the nights at the Electric.
We did. Okay, so as we come to the end of this video, I just want to quickly ask Michael what he thought about the Voyager. What were the best things for you on the Voyager?
Right, one thing I did love about the Voyager was just the overall sort of sense of fun of the ship. The ship is lovely in places. Yes, there are faults, but I just love that the whole ethos of sailing with Marella is about having fun. So I love the fact that it's not Benidorm at sea. People are there having a good time. We've never seen bad behaviour. I love the way the staff interact with you. That is just great. That after the theatre, the fact that they talk to us all around the ships, and that includes some of the guest acts, they will happily chat with you, and I love that. And obviously, I would have to say that food would be there's probably third thing, that I thought the food was absolutely excellent on this voyage. So that's my sort of, there's so many favourite bits, but those are the ones I would pick out. So what are your favourite bits, Dave?
Well, I'm going to be really quick with mine because I don't have that many, because the whole cruise was amazing. But things that stand out was embarkation day. That was really quick and really amazing. And food. I just loved the food. And this time around, the drinks as well. And entertainment. So basically, the whole cruise.
I know there's not as many likes as dislikes as likes, but Dave, just name a few of the major dislikes that you had.
Well, I'll name all of them because there's only two. And that was, as you probably saw in one of our videos, the afternoon tea. I can't eat certain things, and they really messed up, and that was on my plate. When we complained, the complaint wasn't great. They didn't contact us back the next day. I'm pretty sure our friends had to pay for theirs, and their experience was absolutely ruined. And secondly, anybody who's ever complained on a Marella ship might have experienced really bad customer service, and this again shone on the Voyager. So enough about that. Michael, what did you dislike on the cruise?
Well, there's not too much to dislike, and anything I did dislike you can overlook, because overall you just love it, that you forget the little niggly things. But if I had to say what I really disliked, it would be, I was so disappointed with the room. I thought it would be sort of the decor and everything, I thought with it having been refurbished would be amazing. And I just found that they didn't spend a lot of money in the rooms, and it was a little bit dull. Secondly, I would have to say that I thought the plug situation was horrendous. One socket is not enough. And fortunately, we took an extension lead and we would have been lost without that. There was a second socket, but it had two USB plug in it that you couldn't pull out. And finally, I would just say the main sort of other disappointment, and it may sound petty, is the mini golf. I love playing golf on Discovery 2. We had such a laugh, particularly when it was windy. But you just couldn't play, and we tried it once, and we never played the mini golf again on Voyager. So that was disappointing. But overall, definitely. We loved it, didn't we?
That is our view of the Marella Voyager. We thank you all for watching. It's nice to be back. If you want to be so kind and help us grow by clicking on the like and subscribe, and tell all your friends that want to go cruising about us. We are more than happy to do any videos that you guys want to. Keep your eyes peeled for the next video coming out, which is the Marella Explorer. And we will see you all very, very soon.
Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed our playlist on Marella Voyager. Massive playlist with so much on there. So take a look. I'll put a link up there for you. But take a look at our playlist. It is sort of a full extent of our cruise. And hopefully we'll see you all again. Bye.
Bye-bye.